Donald Trump just lost control of his legal defense, and the clock is ticking fast. Less than 11 hours ago, a federal appeals court rejected his immunity claims, and the fallout is about to reshape everything you thought you knew about the next few months. What happens next might change everything you expect. Stay tuned, because we're going to break down exactly why Trump's entire strategy just collapsed, and you won't believe who's refusing to intervene now. This isn't just another legal setback for Trump. This is the unraveling of his entire defense strategy. Late last night, Trump's legal team filed an emergency appeal, hoping to delay the inevitable. But just hours later, the court hit them with a crushing blow, rejecting it outright without even waiting for oral arguments. The implications? Massive. This is a turning point in the ongoing criminal investigations that threaten to send Trump to prison. But here's the big question. Why are prosecutors moving forward in multiple jurisdictions at once? What's really going on behind the scenes that could change everything in the next 72 hours? Want to know why this moment might be far more dangerous for Trump than anything we've seen so far? Keep watching. Here's where the stakes get even higher. This isn't just about a legal rejection. The court went beyond that. It issued a unanimous opinion that absolutely destroys Trump's immunity claims. In fact, the judges didn't hold back. They wrote, "Former President Trump's alleged efforts to remain in power despite losing the 2020 election were unprecedented in our nation's history." That's not just legal jargon. That's a direct challenge to the very foundation of Trump's defense. And notice what's missing from this ruling: any hint of leniency or political protection. The court didn't hesitate to slap down any attempt to shield Trump from accountability. This is the moment where his immunity defense evaporated, and prosecutors have been given the green light to move full speed ahead. But here's the twist. This court ruling isn't just a one-off. It's setting the stage for what happens next, and it's creating a roadmap for charges that could stick. Are you starting to see the bigger picture? Keep watching. Now, things start to escalate at breakneck speed. This isn't just another legal battle for Trump. It's a historic crisis unfolding. The D.C. Circuit Court didn't just reject Trump's immunity claim. They opened the door for criminal charges in a way we've never seen before. And here's the kicker. The court didn't just critique Trump's actions. They explicitly pointed out that his efforts to remain in power after losing the 2020 election were unprecedented. Imagine that. No former president has faced such a direct legal assault. Nixon didn't face this, and neither did Clinton. But now, Trump is facing criminal charges across 4 separate jurisdictions, and each one is rapidly moving forward. What happens when the system finally holds a former president accountable? It's something we've never seen, and it could change everything. And the clock, it's ticking. With prosecutors moving in multiple directions at once, every passing day brings us closer to something irreversible. The legal firestorm isn't just a possibility anymore, it's a certainty. Things just took a darker turn for Trump. This isn't just a legal challenge anymore. It's a full-scale crisis. Less than 24 hours ago, the Supreme Court, which Trump once relied on as his safety net, stood silent. No intervention, no delay, nothing. And here's the bombshell. Trump's legal team had hoped that Chief Justice Roberts and his own appointees, like Brett Kavanaugh and Amy Coney Barrett, would step in to protect him. But none of them did, not a word. The silence from these justices is deafening, and it speaks volumes about where this case is headed. If they were ever going to protect Trump, they would have done it by now. This isn't just a procedural setback. It's a signal that the system has shifted against him. And here's the kicker. While Trump's team scrambles, the timeline keeps getting shorter. Judge Chutkan's trial date, originally set for March 4th, now feels locked in. The speedy trial clock has started, and there's no stopping it. If this trial goes forward as scheduled, Trump could be convicted before the 2024 election, and the repercussions for the GOP are nothing short of catastrophic. This is where the pressure intensifies. Trump's legal team is already on the defensive, and it's all starting to collapse in real time. Just think about this. Prosecutors in D.C. are moving full speed ahead, but that's not all. Meanwhile, the case in Georgia is heating up fast. District Attorney Fani Willis is targeting Trump over the phone call to Georgia's Secretary of State, fined 11,780 votes. That's criminal. And now the classified documents case in Florida is accelerating too. Three major investigations, all moving forward at the same time. It's too much, too fast. And here's the crucial question. What happens if Trump can't stop this momentum? The walls are closing in on him from every direction, and his legal team is scrambling to manage multiple cases at once. Every new legal setback means more exposure, more evidence, and more people turning against him. What happens if this keeps escalating? Keep watching, because the next part changes everything. Now, let's step back and look at how all of this hits ordinary people. People like you. This is not just some abstract legal drama happening in Washington. This is about real-world consequences that could affect every American. If Trump is convicted before the election, the ripple effects will be felt across the country. Picture this: a presidential candidate running from behind bars, surrounded by criminal charges in multiple states. The chaos will be unlike anything we've ever seen in modern politics. The GOP is already fractured, with many Republicans quietly distancing themselves from Trump. And it's not just about political fallout. If Trump is convicted, he will face sentencing before the November election. He could still be the Republican nominee, but a convicted felon. How does that change your view of democracy? The stakes are higher than ever. If you think this scenario feels a little too familiar, let me know in the comments below. Do you see the cracks forming too? This isn't just about Trump, it's about the system itself, the institutions that have always been considered untouchable. The court's decision has cracked open a Pandora's box, and now everything is on the table. The immunity Trump once believed was his shield, gone. That's what the D.C. Circuit's ruling says loud and clear. What this case is revealing isn't just Trump's legal peril, it's how the system itself is evolving in response to a man who spent years pushing boundaries. The real insight here is much bigger. For decades, presidents were shielded by a combination of political norms and institutional deference, almost untouchable. But now we're seeing a monumental shift. The system has decided that no one, not even a former president, is above the law. This changes the balance of executive power permanently. The justice system is no longer bending to political influence, and this is the moment that could reshape how America deals with abuse of power forever. Everything from here on out, every legal motion, every piece of evidence will be part of a reckoning that goes far beyond one individual. It's a power shift, and it's happening right now. So, what happens next? There are two possible paths forward, and both carry massive consequences. First, the trial in D.C. If it moves forward as scheduled, the clock starts ticking for a conviction. But if Trump's legal team manages to drag it out even longer, that's where things get complicated. The longer he stalls, the more it risks fracturing the Republican Party even further, pushing moderates to abandon him for good. And while all of this plays out in court, the Georgia case looms. That's where things could spiral out of control, especially with new evidence surfacing from multiple sources. But there's another path. What if Trump somehow escapes conviction? That's unlikely, given the mountain of evidence piling up. But if he does, it won't change the fact that he's now politically crippled. His image, once untouchable, is already fractured. And if a jury in D.C. convicts him, it's over, not just for his candidacy, but for the entire political structure he built. What happens in the next 10 weeks could decide the fate of Trump, the GOP, and possibly the future of American democracy. The momentum is unstoppable, and it's all heading toward a major decision. Here's the deeper truth that nobody's talking about yet. Even if Trump somehow survives this trial, it doesn't matter. The illusion that he can run for president while facing multiple criminal charges is quickly fading. The power that once shielded him is gone, and now all that's left is the cold, relentless machinery of the justice system. His legal defense is collapsing, his political allies are fleeing, his influence is waning, and in just a few weeks we'll see how deep the cracks really go. This is just the beginning of something much bigger, something that will reshape the landscape of American politics for years to come. Will Trump become the first president in history to stand trial while running for office? Or will this all collapse under the weight of the legal machinery that's closing in on him? Stay tuned. Everything you need to know about the next moves is happening right now, and we'll be tracking it every step of the way. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss a single update. The next 72 hours are going to be crucial. What's your take on all of this? Drop a comment, and I'll see you in the next breakdown.